Hi, it's Wasabi. Welcome back to the channel. We've got a battle on Tundra map with Crazib from Lemon Clan. He's in the Chinese light tank, the F-5916. This is at tier 6. It's a nice little light tank. Now on Tundra, the main strats for light tanks are to try and capture the hill. You've got to be there quickly to defend. Otherwise, there's not a lot of options, but let's see how it gets played by Crazib. He's a good player. He's got a 10k rating in the game. Puts him right near the top of the players. Okay, he's got a defensive position here. Puts a shot into the VK. Another one to the Skoda. But, yep, they've lost the hill. So, he's got a couple of platoon players here. Well, one in particular. Both in Lemon Clan. And he's sort of withdrawing here because, again, can't really challenge 3 tanks with one. So, can proxy spot them from under the hill there, but I'm not sure if he's really interested in that. I think he wants to get a bit of a distance away so he doesn't get spotted himself. Try and spot them. Maybe shoot at them if they poke out. That's a not uncommon thing, and that's what all these TDs are doing. But try and cover the map as much as possible. There's some middle spots as well you can take just to look down the railway line, which is obviously pretty close to where the enemy cap is. But also notice there's only one tank going down the heavy line, the KV-13. I think that IS-2 might be coming across to help. But in a light tank you don't really want to go down that line, it's just too narrow, very much corridor. But can he spot anything from more in the middle of the map is the question. Alright, they've managed to get rid of 2 of the light tanks on the hill, which is good. But not really worth coming back for that. But no, he's taking a bit of a risk here, getting a bit close to the enemy base. There could be TDs around the corner, so he's just holding here a little bit. Maybe for his platoon mate to get into position. Well, I think he's going after the tanks who are at the back of the hill. Alright, so Crazib makes a bit of a move here. He's just coming up to do a similar sort of thing, and he gets spotted. So what spotted him, that's the question. Doesn't wait to find out the answer to that, pulls back. Get some distance between him and whatever might have spotted him. It could have well been one of those TDs, maybe the Bursa or the Super Hellcat. More likely one of those TDs has got binoculars up. He's sitting in a sort of static position, so that obviously gives quite a bit of extra view range. But he's just trying to find an angle on this TD, the SU-100. A bit hard to pick up the target there. He's just really shooting at map positions to an extent. No other real target. So he's got those 2 early shots in. And as you can see, light tanks don't really get treated favourably on this map. There's just too many obstacles, not enough places to spot and have tank destroyers shoot without giving away their position. So you can see no assisted damage here. So if you're in a light tank and you're not getting assisted damage, you've really got to make your own. Alright, so only 4 minutes into the game, so not a whole lot of time, but looks like the enemy team is starting to push across the other side of the map, so that puts Crazib in a little bit of danger here, and his platoon mate. So they're sort of retreating a little bit. But no sign of the enemy, so not exactly clear what they're doing. Now, hesitate to call it this is a strategy from either team. Of course, it's random battle, so you can't really predict what the individual players are going to do. Sometimes you get a bit of the lemon train, and sometimes that succeeds and sometimes it doesn't. So there's no real telling until you can get an idea of the overall placement. So crazib again, just using his knowledge of vision in the game, getting to the longest range possible so that you don't get spotted when you fire, and using people at a bit closer there to do the spotting for you. Now of course you give up some experience to the spotters. About half the experience is given up to spotters, and of course if there's more than one then they share that amongst themselves. So given the hill has been lost, they're expecting tanks to come down from there. Reasonable assumption, but so far they're moving pretty slowly. So not being productive in that spot. As a good player, he's relocated and trying to get some angles. Now the Su-100 M1 has been spotted again. Crazib just looking for a shot down the railway line, but no one's really going to come down that line there, not until perhaps late stages of the game. Now this battle is in Watt 2.0, but obviously at these low tiers you don't see that much difference in terms of the tanks in the game. All the new tanks are the tier 11s and some tier 9 premiums. So luckily this is a tier 6, tier 7 game, and crazib is bottom tier in his light tank, so not getting any favours there from the game. Now, the enemy not pushing down off the hill, so that's interesting. They are sort of spreading across the map. The Su-100 M1 has turned out on the Hemi line, but the IS-2 and the KV-13 both sort of pull back. Okay, now he's found some targets. So he's got a Churchill 7 there. Can he go through him? That's the question. Oh, it didn't land. Well, it landed, but didn't penetrate. That's probably what that poor Panzer 5S Schmalturm is thinking as well. Now he's got a sight shot on a Tiger P, so that's more than likely target, and that managed to penetrate. Churchill 7 being a bit more circumspect. So, what can he do? Just gradually, incrementally improve his damage output, and here comes the Churchill's actually pushing now, as is the Su-100. So he manages to put a shot into that. He's using his premium rounds here, so improving his chances to penetrate. And he's going through the Churchill. Zenin's doing the same thing. But he's losing some hit points, looks like, to the CS-44. Now, so far, crazib hasn't been spotted, and I think he wants to keep it that way. Doesn't have a lot of armour. VK's got a little bit more, but he is suffering. He's got shots on the CS-44. Has he been spotted? Yes, he has, but is anyone able to shoot at him? That's the question. The CS-44 is just looking another way. Get one more shot in.
That one bounced?
Yep, unfortunately, that last couple bounced. So, and here comes the Su-100 M1. So crazib decides to run away. Zenin gets the kill on the VK, and now we can come up and get some rear shots on the SU and the Churchill. So which one's he going to prioritise? Both got about the same amount of hit points, so it's really, he'll go after the Churchill. He's spotted. Churchill actually notices and turns around, and he's on fire. That's good. Can he get the kill without taking any damage? Just about. One more shot, and he might take a hit. Yes, he does, but he gets the kill. And here's the Su-100. He's got quite reasonable frontal armour, but in fact he'd get gets rid of Zenin. Sorry, no, Zenin gets taken out by a different tank. So now he's going after this SU, and he's getting a bit of support here. Panther comes up, but kill goes to crazib. And all of a sudden he's advanced to 2k damage. So in terms of light tanks and in terms of tier 6, he's actually got a pretty healthy damage total now. That's just been the output of the gun. This is the 234 100 that knocked off Zenin. But Soto picks him off, and now they're in a pretty decent stage. Now, of course, best part of the game for light tanks is the end game, and crazib's managed to retain most of his health. Well, that's important here. You do need to be able to trade your hit points at the end of the game, and the more hit points you've got in your hand, the better your deal is going to be, particularly if DPM is relatively similar. So I'm going to come up here and try and pick off the Berser and the Hellcat from the rear. There's no SPGs in this game, so good chance he's not going to get spotted coming around this side if they're all up on the hill, which is what it looks like. So he's taking as wide a route as possible to make sure he doesn't get spotted coming up, and you'll see if he can get a position. Oh, the Berser is actually pretty close, and yes, the Berser spotted him. So the question is the Berser actually in the game? Is he moving? Yes, he is, yeah. Okay, so he's just been on this base pretty much the whole time. And now crazib going through him. One more shot, yes, you can get him in, but he's ducking down. Can he get one more? He's turning around to face crazib, so that's not a good thing. And that puts his side on to the Panther, which takes him out. So that protects crazib. 2.5k of damage, but now there's a Panther after him. Now this is dangerous. The Panther, not a strong medium tank by any means, but and the alpha is pretty low, about 135, but it does have a pretty fast rate of fire, and that could be not a good thing for crazib. So he's playing a bit of a game here, coming around the rock, and hopefully he'll catch the Panther going the other way. He'll be spotted. No, Panther has turned around, is coming this way, so he has to run around. Panther not falling for it, or made his own decision to rotate. And what crazib really wants to do is just draw him into range of fire. So he managed to snap a shot. This is pretty awesome shooting while he's on the move, and there's the Panther's gun at work. So he does lose some hit points, but crazib, yeah, making the most of the terrain changes here, getting out of line of sight. And can he open that Panther up to his TDs? Now, the team have managed to round up the rest of the enemy, so it's really just the Panther left, and now this is again where hit points play. So he's got 515, the Panther's going to take a few. Panther looks like he's turned around, but crazib can start reducing him. Yes, the Panther is going the other way, and that's the mistake that he doesn't want. So crazib will definitely take another hit here. No, Panther missed. So he's just got to stay out of the way. No, he does take a hit. Now he's got to take 2 more shots, and he'll get the Panther. Takes another hit, and that's the end of the game. That's what he's done with his hit points, and over 3k. Great result. Well, he's picked up the Orlex medal. Not familiar with that. Let's have a quick look at that. So destroy 2 or more enemy tanks or tank destroyers that are at least 1 tier higher. Oh yes, now it comes back to me. The Ace Tanker Mastery Badge, more the smaller medals there, but let's have a look at the team score. Alright, he's finished well on top there. 15-16 base is a great result there. Some nice symmetric results there. 3 kills and 3.3k of damage. Not much in the way of assisted. Let's have a look at his specific details there. So he's ended up firing 34 shots, but 32 hits out of that. Great shooting there. Not everyone penetrates, of course. That's one of the disadvantages of light tanks. But let's see, any assisted damage there. Just a small amount, 66 hit points there. But he's managed to damage 10 of the enemy tanks in the game. So 10 out of 15 took a shell and penetrated by crazib's gun. It's a great result there. Now, Zenin finished up in 3rd place there, just missing out on 2nd place, but good support there from him. He is, again, one of the better players in the competition and has been in the Premier League from memory. On the enemy side, the Hellcat picked up 4 cave damage, so he would have got the high caliber for sure, and really did a number on the team. But with crazib and Xenian, really the carry was there. All right, what does it cost? Well, 5916 is a tech tree tank. Picked up a nice amount for the battle, but also a decent percentage bonus for playing in the platoon. Again, always good value there. No other reserves or anything like that. Spent a fair chunk on premium ammunition, as you can see, which sort of outweighed it, plus his consumables, so net loss there of 10k, but no great deal for crazib. Anyway, another great game there from crazib. Thanks very much for supplying the content. Always enjoy watching your videos, and I learn a lot from them, so I hope if you're watching this, the other viewers, and you learn something from it as well, please give the video a like. Certainly love to see comments as well. We'll have more great content to follow. Thanks very much for watching.